new live video. It's at the house. But YouTube had, what's up, Crystal Beauty? YouTube had suspended my live privileges. A lot of people, I don't know if you've noticed. So like I've been trying to figure out how to go live from my phone for a while, but I couldn't because I was suspended because I had made a video and I had sampled some footage that I wasn't supposed to sample, so YouTube didn't suspend my account, they suspended my live privileges. So I always knew that you could go live from your phone, but I'd never even seen this interface until today, so it's a big day for me. I've been waiting for a real long time to do it, so I'm kind of excited. Man, I gotta be honest with y'all. A lot of you gotta understand, man. The nature of my channel is I say things in a way to astrology. Believe it or not, like every now and then you'll catch a glimpse of what I'm going through in real life. You know, every now and then, like I'll mention people's names, but I try not to mention a lot of names and you know, actual shit of what I'm going through. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of times I just try to keep it at an astrology level. You know what I'm saying? But certain times I go through moments in life where it's like a revolution. You know, where it's like all this information is going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like it prepares me. A lot of times when I listen to the content on my channel, not just my channel, but other astrologers, like they verify a lot of the things that I'm already saying. You know what I'm saying? So like I can kind of know, okay, like I'm not tripping. You know what I'm saying? So when I listen, you know what I'm saying, listen to my material, I kind of see like, okay, well, I'm in the middle of a certain type of synchronicity where like, you know, you have certain control over certain situations and you don't have certain control over other situations. And Aquarius, me as an Aquarius, I'm very good at getting to a point where I can clearly see just that. It's like, okay, I am no longer in control. It's time for me to just to let go and let time play itself out. Now at first, hold on, I got the front of the police behind me. Now, here's the thing about like me as an air sign and especially as an Aquarius, you know what I'm saying, a fixed air sign. I said this in another video, like me as like we, and then after a while we decide that we no longer want to fit in. This is so true for if you're dating an air sign, or even if you are an air sign, that you understand this, is that like a lot of the things, because we're experimental, air is very experimental, scientific. We'll try things just to figure out what we like and we don't like. We don't, a lot of times, especially me, I don't let my preconceived notions dictate my actions a lot of times. But like, I'll let every situation play itself out and I'll approach it from a standpoint like, okay, well, let's try and see. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm dealing with water signs, I'm dealing with fire signs, I'm saying even earth signs, any sign, air signs, and I see the same mistakes starting to happen over and over again, and I'm taking note and I'm telling you, and you're unable to change. You know what I'm saying? Eventually, one or two things is gonna happen. One, I'm just gonna totally give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll go online and make one of these videos like this. That's what y'all usually catch, is that, like a lot of that. Like, y'all usually catch me kind of giving up on somebody that I know. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll catch the video. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, damn, where the fuck is all this heat coming from? It's like, because like I'm dealing with something in real life. You know what I'm saying? That you're just catching the astrology version of it. You know what I'm saying? But in real life, trust me, like I have a full, total comprehension of what the fuck is going on. You see what I'm saying? So, obviously, there's some people that don't like me. But then, when I see the people who come on my channel and they say shit like, man, I'm so glad you put this out because I didn't know what I was dealing with and you gave me total context to surround my thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Then I know that, like, okay, what I'm going through is not, it wasn't, it wasn't done in vain. You see what I'm saying? Like, the video wasn't in vain. You know, it'd be a totally different thing if I was putting these videos out here and it was no comments whatsoever. People weren't saying shit. And like, I had like literally like 4 or 5 views and I was just up here hollering into a fucking camera. And like, nobody was even seeing it. Nobody was learning shit. And I was just like fucking vexed. You see what I'm saying? And it wasn't leading to shit. So at least it gives me a justification. Like, okay, even though some people obviously don't like this shit, but I know that the people who do come across it, who feel like me, who fall into that demographic, they're going to thank me for it. So, why am I saying those? Because like, at the end of the day, y'all subscribe to me specifically for astrology reasons. You want to hear me break this shit down astrologically, but you gotta understand it, like, my real life, you know what I'm saying, it's kind of like your entertainment in the aspect that like, I'm really going through shit. You see what I'm saying? Like, I really go through real life situations that force me to go back and analyze the things that I've said and say, okay, like, is this true or not? You know what I'm saying? Like, when I go through situations, like, I'm going through real life situations right now. You know what I'm saying? With people in my family, not, you know what I'm saying, like my entire family. You know what I'm saying? I said this the other day in the video. I was like, man, I got a feeling like something is coming. You know what I'm saying? I was dead fucking right. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't, it's a way to explain things like extrinsically, like things in the media, but I know that everybody right now is going through like a major change right now, like a major change in their life right now. And me, I'm no different in that, like, I am going through one of the biggest changes in my life right now. You know what I'm saying? And the things that when I go back and watch my channel and you know what I'm saying, I hear the things that I say in my channel, not just my channel, but astrology in general, like, I've been preparing for this. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to catch somebody by surprise and have like no understanding of what's going on. But when I make these type of videos and then the shit hits the fan, I'm prepared. I have the vocabulary, I have the thoughts, I know, you know what I'm saying? So like, right now I'm literally like, man, there's people in my family right now that's losing their house. You see what I'm saying? Like, people losing their house, losing their spouse, kids being taken from them. You see what I'm saying? And like, when I look at my situation, and I don't attribute this just to astrology, but like financially wise, wisdom wise, like, I am set. I could die right now. You know what I'm saying? And my family will be set. Like, my will is set. You know what I'm saying? I got my whole will at my house, property, finances, everything is already put in place. That takes a lot of training my mind and like, you know what I'm saying, preparing myself, knowing that, look, there's chaos out here. Most of the people in my family, like, no, not most, all of the people in my family and my friends as well, they deal with chaos like when it's staring them right in the face. Like, they do not follow the times. They don't follow the energy of things. You see what I'm saying? So like, when it hit them, they be fucked up. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like when people see my video, when the people watch my video, they be fucked up because they be like, damn, like, how the fuck did he know this shit? You see what I'm saying? Because I be watching, I be peeping shit, I pay attention. You cannot run game on me. I'm from Chicago. I sit around people all day who fucking cry, complain, and talk about stupid shit all day and just wait for an invisible force to come along and just fix their situation, and they don't take no accountability, no responsibility for the shit they sell. But then they'll still come to me and ask me for help. You see what I'm saying? Not knowing that I got all this content, I got people who follow me, people who listen to my content, you see what I'm saying, who fucking love this shit. You see what I'm saying? So you gotta imagine me having to approach every situation like with a reset button, in that, like, I can't even deal with situations from the context that y'all getting. You see what I'm saying? Like, when I'm dealing with the real life situations, it's not like I can start talking to my family in astrology situations like that and it's gonna make sense to them. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why are you talking about me as a Sagittarius and a Virgo and the Pisces? Like, they don't even have this level of clarity. So it's like, literally, I'm at a 0 level. You see what I'm saying? And I'm a detached in this thought, in that, like, I completely understand, even though it's totally not fair at all. Like, you gotta understand, I watch people in my family break up about, like, literally every trigger of the fucking the cross, which is earth, wind, water, and fire. The fire triggers ego, the I am, the fucking, you know what I'm saying, people directly challenging them. You see what I'm saying? Challenges. This fire triggers. Water triggers their emotions, the spirituality, the fucking their feelings and relationships and the back and forth between the relationships. They triggers. The fucking air triggers miscommunication. You know what I'm saying? Not paying attention to the fucking detail of the thought, thinking the wrong way, saying shit the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? Stepping on toes in that regard, like total air triggers. The fucking earth triggers, the money, the car, the career. You know what I'm saying? Fucking up people's car, fucking up people's houses getting foreclosed. All these like direct triggers are the earth triggers. Me knowing these triggers, you see what I'm saying? Watching it play out through the subconscious of my family and my friends, and I'm having no idea that I completely understand why they doing this, what the triggers are and everything, but literally every time I approach it, when they come to me, like when shit be totally fucked up, like I just watched somebody in my family, the earth sign, totally lose their whole house because they married to a fire sign, you see what I'm saying? Miscommunication, lost the whole crib. They'll still call me, and they'll be like, man, oh my God, I need help, I don't know what's going on. And like, mind you, the whole time I'm telling them, like, look, these are the triggers, this is the shit y'all working on, because if you're not working on this, then you're going to it's gonna come back and bite you in the ass later on. You think they listening? Hell no, they don't listen. But when the whole shit fall apart, when the fucking house is lost, when the family split up, when you so saying when the fucking divorce hit, you better believe they calling me to the forefront like, man, we need your help. We don't know where we gonna go. We need a house. We need a place to stay. We need some money. We need this. We need that. You see what I'm saying? And mind you, I know that I have to deal with this totally from a fucking clean slate standpoint. And that like all this information that I have on this channel in regards to them is fucking useless. I can't even talk astrology. I can't even talk about the virtues. It's like they don't know none of this shit. But the whole time, my bills is paid. My fucking, I don't want no mortgage on my fucking house. I don't want no fucking car, no motherfucking, I got money in the bank. My mother, you know what I'm saying? Like I can travel. I can do literally anything. I can wake up every morning and do whatever the fuck I want to do. Literally at this point, even if I fucking die. You see what I'm saying? My family, my next of kin is going to be straight. You see what I'm saying? So what the fuck is the point of me having my life in this situation when all it is you just literally placing yourself around other people's problems, other people's lower self? Because when you have your life set like that, you have the time to study astrology, you have the time to study a lower self, higher self tendencies, you know what I'm saying, your triggers, your fate, your destiny, your birthday, numerology. You have time to study these things. You see what I'm saying? Most of the people, the reason that the world is fucked up right now, especially in the age of Pisces we living in, it's not only, for one, people are running through this fucking maze, lost. They don't even have the time to study these things. And the things that they do study is going to be so fucking immature. Like, you remember when you first started studying astrology and the things that you were studying, versus like as you get better and better and you force yourself to listen, you force yourself to study words that you had no idea what the fuck it meant. You see what I'm saying? Like how you just get better and better and better. You know what I'm saying? That you look at your old self and you know what I'm saying, you go back and you think about how many people you've surpassed in your knowledge, and the people in your family, people that your spouse in certain regards, and your fucking, you know what I'm saying, your kids, your family, your mother, your parents, and like you trying to explain these things to them, and they sitting there looking at you like you crazy. Like we all go through this shit, you know what I'm saying, as people who study this, you know what I'm saying, and as you keep progressing, you start to pass people degrees and you start to see that they haven't worked on their lower traits as good as you've worked on yours. You know what I'm saying? We all go through this as astrologers, people who study this, metaphysics. You know what I'm saying? And you start to surpass people that you love, and you trying to get them to see that, and they still dealing with you from your old lower self and your old lower traits, and they don't know that you graduated from all of it. You see what I'm saying? So you start to look at it, you be like, damn, well, like, you know, what's the point of studying this shit if you can't even communicate it to the people that need to hear it concretely, you know what I'm saying, intrinsically in your life? You know what I'm saying? This is why y'all catch a lot of that emotion. When I'm dealing with a concrete situation, trust me, I am totally fucking detached. Because I understand, this is one thing Taurus really taught me, was to like, know that what you saying is the truth and stand on that shit and just be the motherfucking truth. Like, it don't matter what the fuck going on around you, it don't matter how crazy it get, it's like, man, just know that you the truth and stand on that shit. And don't change. Because as soon as you change, like, as soon as you know what I'm saying, give in to chaos, as soon as you let go of your virtues, you know what I'm saying, it always comes back to bite you in the ass like 9 times out of 10. No matter where your heart can be in a totally right place. You see what I'm saying? Because what do? People give you half the story up front. People give you half the information. You see what I'm saying? People tell you shit in a biased way to get you on their side of their intentions. You know what I'm saying? Like, people do not give you the fucking truth. And people get, and I live around a certain, like, you go on my channel, you know I'm the motherfucking truth. I am the truth. So like, that make a lot of people uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? When I get around you, like trust me, I'm totally fucking detached. And then like, I'm not forcing you to listen to, like, I won't say shit. Like, I get around you, I just won't say shit. type shit. You know what I'm saying? But like, if you ever put me in a situation where like you gonna force the truth come out, you know what I'm saying? I am the motherfucking truth. People get around, people get so used to living lies for so long that when they hear the truth, it's like peeling off a fucking scab. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh no, we can't go there because, like, you see what I'm saying? The more you study, the more you go, it's gonna be required for you in life to like let shit go. You know what I'm saying? Like shit that you really hold dear. Like the higher up in degrees you go, this is one of the most difficult things that like even Christ, like when I was reading in the Bible, like things about like when I was studying Christ, you know what I'm saying? It, like as he moved up in degrees, it was very difficult for him to like give himself to his family, give himself to his, you know what I'm saying? As he started to become one with himself, you know what I'm saying? Like you want to take your friends with you, you want to take your family with you, you want to take your kids with you, but like you start to realize it's like your path is your path, and you gotta stay true to like yourself and your story. And like a lot of the things that you hold on to, a lot of the things that you want to go a certain way, you see what I'm saying? This is what Pluto teaches us more than anything. Is that like you cannot. You have to be just as passionate as you are. You have to be just as unpassionate. Just as, you know what I'm saying? This is why Aquarius is really good at like just totally letting go of shit. Like if you could totally like do some bogus shit to an Aquarius and like we'll get up like a fucking robot. Like I can't. I can't even explain this shit. But like we approach shit. Like I said in the beginning of this video, we approach a lot of shit from a experimental standpoint. Like, okay, I don't know if I like this or not, so I'm gonna try it and see if I like it or not. Once we start to realize that we don't like shit, like this is very difficult. Like it's hard to really cut an Aquarius off. And that like as we start to approach, as we can see shit approaching, like okay, like this motherfucker's not, like we can already kind of, we have shit already laid out in a way that like, okay, well, if I gotta split away from this person, like we already be mentally like prepared, we be detached, and then like we be right next to you, but the whole time like a bullet could come and fucking snipe your ass right now, you drop dead right now, like Aquarius gonna get up and keep it moving type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just how we are. Like we be prepared for death, we be prepared for situations. Like a lot of air signs is like that. Like it's you thinking you cut us off, but in reality, like we been cut your ass off like months ago type shit. Like even though we were sitting there kicking it with you and everything, like emotionally we wasn't even there. You know what I'm saying? This is very difficult for a lot of water people to understand. And like the thing about air signs is that like we will sit there and kick it with your ass, we will be friends with your ass, but like in reality, like we just really testing this shit out to see if we like this shit or not. Just because we sitting there kicking with you, we having a great time, that don't necessarily mean we quote unquote like you. We just passing the fucking moments. We like fucking cyborgs, man. Like we don't experience shit how you experience. So like when we see you start doing dumb shit and we try to put you on the game, we appreciate a motherfucker who can pick up game. Like if we tell you and like you ain't on that communicate, you can't communicate on that vibe, like hey man, you know you done did this shit like 5 times. I'm starting to see a pattern here, and you can't literally open up and like talk about why this is happening like that. Like we gonna see that shit, and like mind you, we gonna get pissed off the first, maybe even the second, maybe even the third time. But like after a while, we ain't gonna even get pissed no more. You be like, okay, there they go doing that dumb shit again. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna learn to disconnect from not just that experience, but like you as a fucking hoe. Like man, motherfuckers do not understand. Like I know an Aquarius woman. This bitch got like fucking 6, 7 kids, and she don't talk to none of them motherfuckers. Like every one of her baby dad, like I think she got like maybe 3, 4, but I don't even know how many baby daddies this bitch got. She got a lot of baby daddies, but like once it got to a point where where the fucking baby daddy did whatever the fuck he did, and the baby went it was like she didn't even try no more. Like it was like, man, I'm done with this shit. Like you look at you be like, man, you got 6 kids, 7 kids. You should be like, yeah, like ain't none of them motherfuckers around type shit. Mind you, ain't none of them. I don't even think older than like maybe 16, 17 years old. Like I mean, ain't none of them older. I don't even think that old, maybe like 12, 13 years old. They all like kids. And like, she don't take care of none of them motherfuckers. And like it look ruthless on the surface. Like when you hear that shit, you be like, damn, that's ruthless as hell. But like what you start to see is that like, when you sit down with her and she explain that shit to you, And she be like, man, you don't understand. Like, I'm at a point, like, emotionally, where it's like a fucking cyborg. Like, it ain't like she don't want to not have emotions. It's just like, it ain't nothing. The fucking circuit's been so fried that, like, it's like a fucking psychopath. It ain't like no fucking emotions there whatsoever. You see what I'm saying? This is where, when I go back and listen, I'm trying to tell you, when I go back and listen to the shit on my channel, man, you know what I'm saying? I listen to other astrologers. Like, it's one thing to be an Aquarius and just totally fucking detached, but when you know metaphysics and you can see why shit is the way it is, and you constantly got people coming back to you, telling you later on, like, man, you was right, I should have listened to you, man, shit was fucked up, why the fuck like, after a while, you become like a fucking cyborg. You know what I'm saying? You don't give a fuck what people say. It's like, as an air sign, man, if you dating somebody that's like, if you with somebody, you know what I'm saying? Not necessarily, I'm not saying, you know, just dating, but like, even if you in a business with somebody, if you dating somebody, or if you just around somebody that's stagnating your growth, man, you gotta get the fuck away from them. And it's like, the shit is like, air signs, we care, but to the point, like, we can literally hit that switch, like, boom, cyborg mode, and just literally cut a motherfucker off. You know what I'm saying? They'll be sitting there talking everything, like, we won't even have to give emotional responses to none of this shit. Like, we'll just be like, yep, okay, like, they hear you, we'll respond to everything. But like, when we get in that mode, like, we don't give a fuck no more. And like, you know what I'm saying? Water signs panic, fire signs panic. They don't panic per se, but they see it as a challenge. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are very good at just letting go of shit. Like, man, we don't give a fuck. Like, boom, it ain't no emotions in it. It ain't no emotion. Like, it ain't no good or bad emotions. It's just nothing there. You know what I'm saying? And we don't start out like this. Like I said, a lot of times we test shit out. We're like, because there was no emotion there from the fucking beginning. You see what I'm saying? So like a lot of air signs, this is what a lot of people do not understand about air signs. It's like, the whole shit don't be fake per se. The whole shit don't be a sham. It's like, we literally doing this shit because like, we don't have no fucking emotion. You know what I'm saying? And like, a lot of times air signs will get lost in the bullshit, and they like actually think that they really give a fuck. And they're like me, that's why I be on this channel. I'm here, I be like, man, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I know you don't give a fuck. That's what I'm here to remind. Like, a lot of air signs, especially Aquarius, like, man, we don't give a fuck. We just be into principle, like the principality of things. And like, okay, well, if this makes sense, then this supposed to make sense. And if you do this, and this supposed to make sense. And then like, we get irritated over shit like that when like the shit actually don't make sense. But the actual drama of it, like the shit, the ups and downs, like, we don't give a flying fuck. Like, we just be like, if you put us in a situation to fix the situation and you getting in the way, that's gonna piss us off. When the communication get fucked up, like, how did you get into this dumbass situation? Like, that's gonna piss us off. Not the fact that you actually in it, like the shit that you did to actually get you there. Like, this is very difficult for fucking people to understand. You know what I'm saying? But the whole time, we don't give a fuck. Like, we will sit, like, if we try to fix it and you ain't listening, that's gonna piss us off. You see what I'm saying? And then like, to the point, like, man, fuck it, shit, all right, get the fuck out of here. Go back to what the fuck you was doing. We gonna go right back to robot mode. And then we didn't give a fuck before you came, and we definitely don't give a fuck now that we done heard it. And it's gonna be even harder to pull us in to the emotional aspect once we really done cutting your ass off. You see what I'm saying? And like, the whole shit is that like, I see like a lot of stuff, like fire signs, and especially water signs, they make you feel bad about the fact that you don't give a fuck. And it's like, man, like, you don't even understand. Like, I never gave a fuck. This whole shit was for your benefit to begin with. And it, like, logically, it made sense for me to at least act like I give a fuck. This is like, air signs do not go back and review their fucking thoughts. Like, you see what I'm saying? In that regard, like, we'll get lost in the emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll trick ourselves into actually thinking that we really give a fuck about this person when we really don't. We just be trying to help them out and fix the shit that they going through, because like, we're kind of like tools like that. And then like, we know virtues, we know a hell of a lot of shit, so like, we good problem solvers. And like, it's like, we can cut through the bullshit quick and say, okay, this is exactly what you need to do. If people don't get that about you, you see what I'm saying? Like, you need to like advertise that more about yourself, or like place yourself around people that know that. Like, what's that movie, Pulp Fiction? I think dude's name was Wolf. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude Wolf, he was a fucking Aquarius. The dude in Pulp Fiction, when they had that dead body, that he turned around and accidentally shot him in the back seat. You see what I'm saying? And they had to figure out what they was gonna do with the body. They said, gonna Wolf, because like, Wolf cut through the bullshit quick as hell. He was like, man, like, and mind you, like, everything he was saying was ruthless as hell. He was like, man, y'all dumb as hell. Y'all fucked this whole shit up. I am not supposed to be taking care of this shit, but I'm still gonna fix it regardless. And he did. And like, they knew that they could go to that nigga for that type of shit. You see what I'm saying? that's how, you know what I'm saying, that's how a lot of Aquariuses naturally are. They just don't know this about, like, they not formulating that shit because they get lost in bullshit. Like, Aquarius get lost in a lot of emotions, a lot of passions of other people and shit like that, because, like, we don't know who the fuck we are when we first get here because we so fucking cyborg. It's literally nothing there. So we be like, fuck, like, okay, I guess I'll try this. Okay, I guess, and then you get lost.